The shir is dedicated to Zecha Nishmas Rachaleya Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. In this shir, we're going to examine a Rambam in Moreh Nevuchim. The Rambam in Perek Mem Daled and Perek Mem Hey. And we're going to try to read a good segment of the Rambam that you will have in front of you. I circled and underlined the particular language that I believe is relevant, and you will see how the Rambam, in his ingenious way, was able to cull throughout the Tanakh, and the Rambam came with the formulation and articulation of different madregos of Nevua. And as I said in last year, it's uncanny how the Rambam, in his brilliance, scintillating brilliance, with his just encyclopedic knowledge of Chazal and Tanakh, is Kemat the only formulation that we have of these different madregos of Nevua based on the Lashonos that I found in the text. And what is fascinating is that even though the Rambam in Mishnah Torah, we referred already last year to Perek Zayin of Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah, where the Rambam mentions this notion of Anavim Milas Milasein, and the Rambam describes different aspects of Nevi'im and different aspects of Nevua, and refers to the criteria for Nevi'im, and the Rambam refers to how they were misnabe, and under what circumstances they were misnabe. But the Rambam there does not spell out to the extent that he does over here the different madregos in Nevua. Just for example, in Perek Zayin Yesodei HaTorah, we mentioned already the first few halachas, and we'll just perhaps refer to a few others. The Rambam in Perek Zayin Yesodei HaTorah, Halacha Dalet, tells us that a Navi cannot prophesy whenever he so desires, unlike Moshe Rabbeinu. Again, everything is in contrast to Moshe Rabbeinu. But the Rambam says, Mechabnim Daitom, B'yoshim Smeichim, B'tovilev, Mizbodedim. You have to be in a state of Izbodedus. Shena Nevua, Shera, Lemitech Atzvus, Lemitech Atzvus, Lemitech Simcha. That the Bnei Nevi'im were involved with playing musical instruments because they were Mevakshay Nevua, they were seeking Nevua. And the Rambam indicates the way he's medayik beautifully in the Psukim Vehema Misnabim that Mahalchim B'derech HaNevua Ad She Yinavu. The Rambam says that they were on the way, they were on the path, they were in a state of hachana, a preparedness to become Nevi'im. K'mo Omer Ploni Mizgadel. Just like you speak about a person who becomes a Gadol B'Torah, little by little you see a person acquiring Chachmas HaTorah and growing and the like. So too Nevi'im, it was a burgeoning, growing kind of process. And then the Rambam indicates that there are B'nai Nevi'im, people who went to school to become Nevi'im, and does not necessarily mean that a person automatically becomes a Navi. We saw, for example, in Sefer Yirmiyahu, that there we have Baruch ben Neriah, and even though one may have the requisite qualities to become a Navi, it's up to Hashem's Baruch if a person should become a Navi or not. In Halacha Vav, Perek Zayin Yesodei HaTorah, the Rambam continues. Kol advarim she'amarnu, hein derech HaNevua, l'chol HaNaviim, HaRishonim, HaAchronim, chutz Moshe Rabbeinu, v'Rabban shekol HaNaviim. All the above applies to all the Nevi'im, whether Nevi'im Rishonim, Nevi'im Achronim, with the exception of Moshe Rabbeinu. And again, he explains the distinction is shekol HaNaviim, b'chalom b'mareh, Moshe Rabbeinu erev omed. Moshe Rabbeinu is fully alert, fully awake, all his faculties are operating, Mashenkin, other Nevi'im, the Chalom of Amareh. And he goes on to prove from Sukkim that this is the case, Kol Nevi'im Al-Yidei Malach, the Pikoch Roim, Mashem Roim, B'Mashal B'Chida, as I already mentioned in last year. Moshe Rabbeinu again is not like that. Ela Roeh Hadavar Al Buryo B'Lo Chida B'Lo Mashal. Moshe Rabbeinu sees everything clearly, explicitly, without Mashalim. Kol Nevi'im Yireim v'Nivholin U'Mismegigin. All Nevi'im are frightened, are confounded. Mashenkin Moshe Rabbeinu K'asher Yadaber Ish Re'eyu. Just like a person converses with his friend and does so in a very calm, dispassionate kind of fashion. That's how Moshe Rabbeinu operates. Kol Nevi'im, says the Rambam at the end of Halacha Vav, Misnabdim B'Chalei She'yirtzu. They can only say Divrei Nevuah when Hashem's Baruch is desirous for them to do so. Moshe Rabbeinu not like that. And in effect, Moshe Rabbeinu clearly is of a markedly different nature than Shar Nevi'im. But now we're going to examine the different gradations that the Rambam has in Moreh Nevuchim. And what's very, very fascinating, the Rambam speaks of 12 madregos. And I would like to divide these 12 madregos into 3 different groups. The first group, we'll call it Trom Nevua. Prior to a Navi becoming a Navi, it's part of the Ta'alich, part of the process where a person begins to become a Navi, and here there are 2 shlavim, there are really 2 segments. And then we have what I call the second group, the second category, which is Chalom, which involves a dream. And here there are 5 shlavim, there are 5 stages or 5 segments in the course of this. The first 2 segments, which are pre-Nevua, we'll see involve Ruach Hashem and Ruach HaKodesh. The second segment, which is under the